Let's go.
Hello, and I'm joined by Susan today when we're discussing a 1976 movie which now has become cult viewing. And it's the first foray into the movie world by a young singer, a British singer. Not many people know of him, but going by the name of David Bowie.
Mm.
We are talking The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Mm.
So it's a science fiction drama, story of this alien-like person coming to Earth in search of water for his home planet because his planet's dying. He's left his family on this planet. He's come to Earth to search for water, to invent a machine that could carry water back to his home planet. And that's the gist of the story. But of course, the American government get involved.
Yep.
And don't they just?
Don't they just?
So I'm going to move over to Susan and with her opening thoughts on The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Well, not that I didn't know this, but I knew that you loved David Bowie, and so this one was I was not surprised that we were reviewing it.
I just wanted to.
It's really beautiful. It's really sensual. It's a bit like Stranger in a Strange Land by Heinlein. Lots of sex, lots of eroticism, like, and lots of sort of modern art sort of eroticism too. And it's a long story. The experience of the movie for the characters is over the course of like
quite a few years,
25-30 years. And the first thing this alien does when he gets to Earth is make patents so that he could start working on his project, his own personal project. But he kind of gets set up, starts, what is it called, Worldwide Vision or World?
It's the company, yeah.
World. Oops, sorry. Anyway.
World Enterprises Corporation.
World Enterprises. And it is a big deal. His company has makes these improvements in life and changes a lot of things in the world, and so it becomes sort of like futuristic. And what's interesting is that at the beginning, the creature, the alien, is richer than anybody. He just becomes absolutely he becomes like Tesla, or excuse me, what's his name, Elon Musk kind of rich, Jeff Bezos kind of rich. And
Elon Musk is an alien.
It's possible. Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah. And because of patents and stuff, there's like there's a couple of thoughts there. But as he becomes older and he's not really able to complete his project because of the resistance of the Americans and the resistance of the woman that he's spent some time with, who becomes kind of like his wife. But his wife and kids back home are still waiting for him, not
Well,
knowing where he is. And he's dreaming about them a lot. And yeah, you can tell that he's becoming super frustrated with this. And so he tries to sort of seed his dreams into other people's minds and stuff. And it's really beautiful. And with that comes all this erotic vision stuff. And it's just amazingly beautiful. And then at the end, he is being experimented on a lot. I mean, that it becomes really sort of like a horror story in the case of, you know, what he's got to go through. And the music is beautiful, but it's not David Bowie's music.
no.
And that's sort of huh? Huh? I should hear his stuff. That's why is he in this movie, and why is he not? Why can't I? It's just cognitive dissonance there. And then there's always the fact that that his character Ziggy Stardust was a bit like that, the Starman and everything.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's why he's in this movie. The producers of this saw him, Starman, Ziggy Stardust,
Yeah.
alien-like persona,
Yes.
and all through Bowie's life, it was alien-like persona.
All throughout his life.
All through, like through his music.
Yes. Yes, exactly. He was definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
He and Grace Jones and stuff were the weirdest Brits that you could possibly shake a stick at. Anyway, just amazing. Oh, let's see. And the fact that it was the Americans, you can blame them for everything because Americans are shit sometimes. I had to say it before Lee did, so there it is. It's out there. It's in the open. And I don't know. It was there was artistic nudity to the point where you're just blown away by what was going on the screen. It was like it was very MoMA, Museum of Modern Art. Get it? It was very MoMA. Anyway, and David Bowie eats scenery every time he's on.
Yeah.
And he's riveting. I mean, you don't want to look at anybody else. You just don't. Anyway, let's see, anything else? No, those are my opening thoughts. Go.
Well, as I say, I've wanted to review this one for a few years now, but finally we'll get around to it. One of my favourite movies.
Yeah.
As you said, it's quite a bit of a art form. This one, it's as you say with the imagery, the erotic imagery, the imagery of his wife and kids on planet, because the planet's never named, out there somewhere. Knowing full well by the end of the movie, his wife and kids are dead because he's spent so many years on Earth,
Hmm.
and there's nowhere for him to get back.
Hmm.
Um, but from the beginning, where he falls to earth in the lake and he's there, he's been watched from day one. You know, the government they're watching.
Yeah.
Um, to patent all these inventions to finance his real goal of creating this rocket or whatever what can carry water back to his planet. Um, the government weren't going to allow that. I mean,
Right.
he makes friends along the way. He has Mr. Farnsworth, is it the solicitor, who becomes his work partner sort of thing, played
Hmm.
by Buck Henry, which for me is a very sympathetic character.
Yeah.
You know, with he's because with a boy, he's got his boyfriend, or with him, and in the end, the government killed them.
I know.
I mean, it wasn't really explained why, but I'm assuming it's because the tying up all loose ends.
Yeah.
But if that was the case, why didn't the sort out Mary Lou? Why didn't they sort out all the other people that knew him?
Peters.
Yeah. So those two, Farnsworth. You felt sorry for Farnsworth in the end.
Definitely.
Then you've got Dr. Bryce, played by the wonderful Rip Torn. He's been in many, many movies.
Hmm.
And him playing a college professor who seduces his students,
Hmm.
who's attracted to the women,
Hmm.
and then he takes a position working for Newton, Bowers' character, and I think that's Newton's downfall when he employs him.
Yep.
Um, but the great character, as you say,
Because Bryce does like he does sort of move the emphasis from what Newton wanted to accomplish.
yeah, yeah. But also Newton as well is for himself to blame as well, because all he did at the beginning of the movie was water. Drinks water, drinks water. But then he meets Mary Lou, he meets Bryce. They put him onto alcohol,
Yeah.
and that's his downfall because
Yeah.
he can't really handle alcohol.
Well, because alcohol dries you out.
Yeah, and so
Shoot, sorry.
that's how his character sort of becomes less and less enthusiastic about going home. He just wants to watch the TV screens, the scenes where he's got several TV screens on at the go, and it's just the imagery is going into his head all the time. Is an amazing scene. It's, but it's not one of your run of the mill movies. This has got it makes you think. It's got a story to it, and it's not a happy ending either. So because when it comes to the end of the movie, he's there succumbed with by the alcohol, and he's still stuck on Earth, and then that's the credits roll. So it's not a happy ending for him. It's not a happy ending for his family, and the torture he goes through, the experimentation from the government, especially with the eyes, with the X-ray, which sort of weld those lenses to his own eyes. He can't get them off anymore.
I know.
He most probably wouldn't be able to go back to his planet because of that.
Yeah.
Where the taking blood, the cutting into him.
The cringy ones were like the nipple and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just there's just horrible sort of experimentation.
Yeah. It, as I said, then you've got the seduction, of Mary Lou, the eroticism of the imagery of the two bodies and just swirling around. Amazing imagery.
Yeah, and like the liquid, like the gelatin that they are swimming in, that they are covered in.
Well, I'm taking that. I'm reading that as a sexual intercourse. That imagery with the fluid.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, Mary Lou didn't take too kindly to his alien form.
no, she screamed.
She screamed and ran.
And then she said, she screamed and sat on the floor in the kitchen.
Yeah, but for me, it's not it's not an all action movie. It's just a drama with a story about how this alien is
It's like an
trying.
it's like an interspecies rom com. I'm
Well,
just
no,
kidding. There's no com.
no, there's no com. No, 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 no. But it's it's not a long movie.
No?
It flies by. But so any moments for you?
Um, yeah, the use of that car as like a showing that he was free, and then eventually the fact that he wasn't ever able to use that car, that big land yacht, that sort of quasi limousine kind of uh the blue car with like the leather top and stuff, that was sort of a stretch.
Yeah,
I don't even know what kind that is. It's just looked like a kind of a Cadillac or something, and it was just beautiful. And that was his freedom for a while. Like, he was able to go out and look and experiment and do his little things that he had to do. Newton had to do, like the David Bowie character had to do. But then slowly but surely, it was the Buck Henry character who took over, that car. And so you knew that he was basically stuck on that in that house by that lake. And
yeah,
and the alcohol was a big deal, because it did start off like he was just drinking water, lots and lots of water, and then he was
straight out the river.
yeah, out of the river, out of the lake. It was all just, you know, and he would put this little pill in to purify it or whatever, and it would fizz a little bit. And yeah, because I know you Brits, you drink fizzy water more than flat water.
Who, me? Never.
Very funny. Anyway, the important thing is that he was being manipulated into this other form. And that's kind of what happens in Stranger in a Strange Land. So that's why I said that this is very, very Heinlein, very, very much like the like that book, like including all of the heightened sexuality of aliens, which is great. I mean, you assume that people, the part of the ideas of the 70s and the 60s was that people as we go along, we'll become more and more highly evolved sexually.
Hmm.
More people doing more strange and wonderful things sexually. And I thought that this was aiming that way, and this movie was definitely showing that. And then kind of you know, you watch it fall into any sort of rhythm, like stupid humans, and that was sad.
It, it is a sad story. I mean, how many years he was kept by the government in that secret laboratory
Yeah,
is not really given away. But when he's wandering about and then he finds out it's all derelict, there's nobody about, and the door's wide open.
yep,
How long has he been there with nobody being about?
right.
Yeah, because he never ages.
No,
Everybody else around him does age, and that's the point about the movie is this was 76, so you've got the 70s fashion. But if this takes time over the 30 odd years, it doesn't really ring true with the fashion, does it? But what can you do?
they tried to do some forward thinking.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's all.
I mean, as soon as he got escaped from the experimental lab, he goes out there. I mean, he's still got money. He's still filthy rich. He records an album
Yep,
called The Visitor.
yep.
Um, so now he's
And
got a
and it's really funny because like in the 80s, and there was like the Doctor Who sort of spin-off, the called The Stranger or The Visitor.
mm,
That was also called yeah. Anyway, aliens.
yeah. I mean, I think Bowie always saw himself as a visitor anyway. But,
Yeah.
to have Newton come back from his imprisonment as a recording artist,
Yeah.
you're thinking, is this true, Bowie? Are you really an alien? Are you? and then and then that's where the movie ends when they say we think Mr. Newton's had too much to drink.
Mm.
Uh, a strange ending,
Strange ending.
yeah, but a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
Um, anything else you want to say about the man who fell to earth?
Um yeah, the part uh the part where he's first meeting Buck Henry's character and stuff, like that was like he really liked Buck Henry, like immediately. Like there was
Mm.
just sort of
Passes him that envelope with all that money in. I
yeah,
want I want you to be the head of work for me and
so good.
money talks.
Then he talks. Yeah.
But
And it was I think this is like the second or third time that I've seen this,
yeah,
but I didn't really because I wasn't ever like, you know, before I saw it, I wasn't thinking about Heinlein, but I've been like talking with this person on Twitch called Lazarus Long Laughs and Loves. And so it was absolutely impossible for me to miss this Heinlein connection to this story. And the the fact that he doesn't age and stuff, and the fact that he's part of part of the soundscape is his songs from the 60s, and then it just gets weird songs after that, like weird sort of compositions written for the whole piece, the whole movie. Um, you know, that was a really interesting thing. And
I mean, the director Nicholas Roeg, he has made some quite cult. Some of his movies have become cult classics.
oh, like what?
You got Performance. You've got Walkabout. Don't Look Now, which we reviewed a couple of years ago.
That was
With
pretty weird. Yep.
yeah. So then you got Man Who Fell to Earth. With him, it's all imagery.
Yep.
So he did become a cult director.
Yep.
So, anything else you want to say about the Man Who Fell to Earth?
Um, no, I think I've said it.
I mean, the design of the alien form, it was just smooth, sexless. There was not. It was just a smooth, but it was nothing there, was it? It was just, those piercing like lizard eyes
Yeah.
and the bald scalp.
Yeah.
But Bowie still shone through that.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Great imagery, great.
And I love how they didn't. This was very 70s. None of the pubes were shaved.
Oh,
That was nice. That was better than I expected.
you wasn't expecting Ripton's Willie.
Well, I just wasn't expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be shaved because everything is gross that way now, and it was normal. And I was like, "Yay, yay for normal,
Hooray for pubes!
hooray for pubes!"
Anyway,
So in reality, like now you just know something about your castmate here. Sorry about that.
yeah. And on that bombshell,
Yeah,
shall we go final say and score?
yeah.
Come on then. What you got to say then?
It's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 patents pending for the man who fell to earth. And I love how he named himself after one of the great physicists of all time. I loved how he learned to speak English on his way down just a little, just as he was coming to earth,
And he claimed to be from England.
And he claimed to be from England, and that's perfect. Just like Doctor Who. And I loved how at the end you really felt sorry for everybody. Yeah. It was so sad and beautiful. Sad and beautiful. But 10 out of 10.
Oh, brilliant. As I say, great imagery. And that's all down to Nicholas Roeg. Great acting. And for his first film role.
No kidding. And he's done so many. He was such a good actor. I mean, he was in like Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. He was in so many different things, right?
Yeah, you had that. You had the Hunger.
Hunger. Oh my God, that was beautiful.
Yeah, the Prestige. You had so many. There's so many out there.
He's such a good actor.
Yeah. So he could put his hand, to anything: acting, music, art. because he in his later life became an artist, painting and stuff like that.
Yep.
What an awesome guy. And
Hmm.
I'll always believe he's not dead. He's just moved onto another plane, another planet. Because I think that's the way Bowie wanted it. So for me, the man who fell to earth, of course, he gets 10 contact lenses out of 10.
Oh,
Um,
scientists.
yeah, it's a gripping story. It's not as we said, it's not a happy ending for anyone.
No.
But it'll keep you watching because
Yeah.
you want to find out what is going on. I know there's been a television series last year of I think what happens afterwards. I haven't watched it, starring Bill Nighy in the role of Newton, but I will have to check that out at some point, see if it's any good. But if you've seen it, you guys out there, let us know what the TV series is like.
Well, Nye did okay as Slarty Bart Fast, so he can play an alien once in a while.
But so yeah, that's our little review of The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Mhm.
Please leave a comment below on our video or on wherever we share it on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. If you want to join our little gang, which it is a little gang at the moment, please comment you want to join us. You know, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press the bell notification button. You'll get notified every time we put something up. All you have to be, you're still doing it. There's no sound. All you have to be is 18 and over. Have a PC, laptop, phone, tablet with a camera, microphone, and you're in. 18, of course, as I said, because I say a film like this,
Yeah,
sex nudity. You know, we don't want
lots of
kids.
sex, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of sex.
We're not complaining about that.
No,
But no,
no, but it's very sex.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our little review of The Man Who Fell to Earth. So until next time, guys, keep looking up at the skies. You never know what you'll see coming down. So bye for now.